Thank you for inviting me, and first wanted to say that I follow Peter's information very closely. I find it to be essentially infallible, and I think a lot of people, like banks and other interested parties, follow the word of Condo Vultures fairly closely, and I would just suggest that if you're looking at the possibility of any kind of market research that's involved in areas such as the greater downtown Miami area, then Peter's got to go to, so that's my plug for Peter. And he is correct about what we did at Brickell on the river. And in fact, I read his comments about Brickell on the river before I'd actually met him, I guess about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago.
Did I say something good or bad?
Pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Some aspersions, but otherwise okay. And I don't want to take a lot of credit for what happened successfully at Brickell on the river. This is a family-owned business, and like most Jewish real estate family-owned businesses, totally dysfunctional. So we did look at the market. My brother-in-law, Michael Besson, the president of the company, is one of the number of people that got involved in the process of what we should do with Brickell on the river. We had a very successful first tower, made a lot of money on that, and it was a matter of timing. The second building was well received by the market when it was pre-sold. It was primarily, or actually all, a loft-style building. And the thinking was that the loft style in a high-rise environment might be unique enough and interesting enough and designed aesthetically interesting enough to attract younger buyers of condominiums, people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and so forth. And it turned out that the market did accept, like it accepted everything that was being built. It did accept the product that we had available, which was all lofts. 325 unit loft units, some commercial space, some retail space. Nice package of amenities, just off the Miami River. The first building, the north building, was actually on the Miami River. So the project sold very well, and then because of the timing, by the time we got our COs, like a lot of other high-rise developers, we began to have some sleepless nights because we saw that we had built into a much oversupplied and overheated market. Still, we stayed with our prices. The tsunami did not hit us day one of our having received COs for our building, but we probably had the better part of a half a year, maybe 8 or 9 months, that we were able to sell and close about half of the units in the building prior to our having to start hard negotiating and lowering our prices and considering what to do. So we went from a lot of closings that occurred in the first 5 or 6 months, as you would expect during, quote, a normal period of time, and then gradually it slowed down, and then it almost came to a dead stop. Coupled with the problem of oversupply, and particularly in the downtown area, was the fact that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac had instituted last January or February, I believe, additional problem rules and regulations that effectively would prevent mortgages from being bought in the secondary market by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac by imposing new restrictions, such as at least a minimum of 70% of the units have to be sold, condo fees beyond a certain limit could not be delinquent, and it just seemed to be the wrong medicine at the wrong time for the wrong disease. It was just like the nail that finished, the hammering in the coffin. But there were exceptions that were available, and so we were first to react to apply to be exempt, and working on it almost on a daily basis and going through all the red tape. And it had to be done through our lender. Bank of America is actually the applicant in this process, so the construction lender is the applicant in that process. We did all the work, the bank submitted it, we did finally get an approval that we would be exempt because the project was regarded as an entire project and met the criteria to allow for an exemption, which helped us. And as soon as we were able to get that exemption, we blasted emails and information out to the broker market and to the market generally to indicate that this building had mortgages available to it, conventional mortgage financing available to it. Normally that would be just a given, that would just not even be something that you would even harp on or make a big deal about in a normal market environment, but that to us was a major accomplishment. So that helped us. Most of our buyers who did close probably closed at an average of 300 and...
I can tell you.
Oh, what?
Exactly.
It was 300 and what?
Yeah, over the North Tower, for the overall blended average is 345 a foot. South Tower, I don't want to steal your punchline, but it was 260 a foot.
Right, okay, so that sounds about right.